hungry, you know what I'm saying? But the thing I'm getting out of this, Roach took the fight. It gives him a chance to really...
GervontaDavis's corner was in complete chaos on the night of his fight against Lamont Roach. His trainer, Calvin Ford, has now addressed the situation, revealing what led to the turmoil. According to Ford, Davis was asking him to make a highly questionable move. The scene was reminiscent of Tyson Fury's corner during his first undisputed world heavyweight championship.
He's the champion, What's the best for him? I'm hoping that he do what I needed to do, you know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody.
During the match, Tyson Fury remained calm with his trainers, but his father, John Fury, created chaos in his corner by repeatedly raising his voice over Andy Lee and Sugar Hill Stewart. As a result, Tyson misinterpreted their instructions, which ultimately contributed to his loss. However, GervontaDavis's situation was slightly different, as this time the chaos stemmed from the fighter himself. The match was unfolding in an unimaginable...
I can see different levels of it. This time I had a chance to step back. Everybody keeps saying, they changing ourselves. No, we ain't changed up.
This was unusual, considering the Baltimore native is accustomed to ending fights in the 7th, 8th, or 9th rounds. However, this time, Lamont Roach was fighting back, and Davis was far from dominating. This raised concerns in his corner, and while his team tried to guide him, he instead argued and raised his voice, yelling, "Listen to me," at Calvin Ford. His team eventually followed his lead, but the outcome was far from ideal, and it could become even worse if his draw against Roach is overturned. Initially, his coaches chose to remain silent when asked about Davis's reactions in the corner, assuring that everything would be resolved. However, with the result now in jeopardy, the situation has taken a different turn.
Like punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things got to happen to make you get back to where you belong at, you know what I'm saying? And
it was expected to be just another routine night at the office for GervontaDavis and his team. From the moment his showdown against Lamont Roach was announced, Team Davis showed no signs of concern or unease. Roach was a familiar opponent with a respectable record, and while he held a title, he was still considered the smaller man.
2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must say...
Considered a sizable underdog, Lamont Roach fought like a man with something to prove. From the start, he boxed beautifully from the outside, and when Davis forced him to abandon the jab and fight on the inside, he adapted without hesitation. By the time the final bell rang, fans inside Brooklyn's Barclays Center stood in stunned silence. While they had witnessed 36 minutes of pure violence, the outcome remained uncertain as the scores were tallied. Team Davis waited patiently, but the grins on their faces soon disappeared when their fighter was forced to settle for a majority decision draw.
skillful. Both of them want to take certain chances, some of them take chances, you know what I'm saying? We seen... It was like we was on a boat.
The first time in his professional career, Davis left the ring without an official win. As he slumped into his chair backstage, his team, including Barry Hunter, shook their heads in disapproval of the decision. Hunter, who had taken on a leading role ahead of Calvin Ford, believed the judges got it wrong. From his vantage point, Davis had a tough fight. There was no denying that. But Hunter was convinced that in the final rounds, Davis turned a close back-and-forth battle into a decisive victory. "We take our hats off to the other side," Hunter told ESPN, "but I thought down the stretch, the last 2 rounds sealed the deal. I thought we pulled..."
Well, both of us back to there was that again. Nobody won.
On the other hand, many believe Davis should have lost the decision and that referee Steve Willis should have ruled him down when he took a knee in the 9th round. Former IBF, WBC, and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr., who has had his fair share of social media exchanges with Davis, insists that Tank has lost significant stock. Speaking to Fight Hype after a workout for his upcoming fight against Dodd Yordan on March 22nd, Kambosos didn't hold back. "He just had a draw and lost a lot of stock," he said, wiping sweat from his face. "What does he have to do? rebuild his career. Since his fight with Roach, Davis has faced a...
What do you honestly think about this Davis versus Roach fight? Like, for you at 140, do you feel it's like you fighting a smaller guy at 130, 135? What's your thoughts on the...
Fighters have since expressed their desire for a rematch, and the New York State Athletic Commission is currently reviewing the moment in the 9th round when a replay system failure prevented Davis's gesture from being reviewed and ruled a knockdown. Had the knockdown been officially recorded, Roach would have won the fight by majority decision, making him a 2-division world champion. Instead, Davis remains the champion and keeps his unbeaten record intact. His rivalry with Kambosos stems from mutual disrespect and first ignited on social media.
Dates and against Lamont Roach, is it a big fight?
Well, I don't want to disrespect Lamont Roach. He's a very skilled fighter, super featherweight.
His career, Davis has relied on his athleticism, patience, and punching power to dominate his opponents. However, on Saturday, he faced an opponent who wasn't intimidated and absorbed his power without major consequences. While few would completely dismiss Davis's abilities in the ring, it's clear that there are areas where opponents can challenge the WBA champion. Before Roach's impressive performance, the only other fighter to go the distance with Davis was Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Now, many are watching Davis's next move to see if he is serious about a quick rematch. If a second fight happens, it will be interesting to see whether Roach enters with more confidence but less discipline.
His own show, he runs his own race, and the fans, you know, like, no matter what, the fans will see, obviously, what the fighter's doing, the fans see what's happening, and, you know.
Davis's in-ring IQ is often underrated. He has shown the ability to analyze his opponents and adjust in the early rounds, but against Roach, he never seemed to find his rhythm. Following the fight, Roach had no shortage of supporters. His friend and Davis's rival, Shakur Stevenson, praised his performance and even expressed interest in being Roach's next opponent. While that matchup makes sense, the fight most fans want to see is a Davis-Roach rematch, especially after Roach made people question whether Davis is truly unbeatable. Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has also weighed in on the New York State Athletic Commission's review of the controversial...
Starts in the draw, and all you think won.
Do you know what? Honestly, I haven't watched the fight. We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee...
Hearn does not believe the New York State Athletic Commission will overturn the majority draw decision, but expects a rematch to take place. Davis and Roach fought to a draw last Saturday at Barclays Center, but a controversial moment in the 9th round, when Davis voluntarily took a knee without it being ruled a knockdown, has led to an official review by the commission. According to Fight Freaks Unite's Dan Raphael, Roach's lawyer has appealed for the result to be changed to a victory for Roach, either by decision, knockout, or disqualification. While Hearn acknowledges the controversy, he does not anticipate
that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite...
Oh, I don't think they do, Hearn said when asked if the commission has the authority to mandate a rematch. Can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't think they can. The World Boxing Association, WBA, governs the lightweight title, and while the New York State Athletic Commission can review the fight's outcome, it does not have the power to enforce a rematch. However, Hearn believes a second fight is inevitable.
This could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
Do you think New York State overturns it?
You take a knee in a fight and touch down. While punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown, Hearn stated. I heard people saying he should be disqualified. He went back to his corner. I don't buy that. I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. The New York State Athletic Commission's review remains ongoing, with no final verdict announced yet. However, something significant was overshadowed in the aftermath of Saturday's PBC pay-per-view event in Brooklyn. A missed knockdown call by referee Steve Willis in the main event ultimately cost 130-pound belt holder Lamont Roach Jr. the WBA.
You know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
A former amateur rival of Davis should have been the main story after handing Tank, a massive 1,600 betting favorite, the first blemish of his professional career in their controversial majority draw at Barclays Center. However, the spotlight also fell on the New York State Athletic Commission, which was less than transparent in the immediate aftermath. On Monday, the commission claimed that a technical issue prevented it from reviewing the instant replay footage within the allotted time. By failing to call Davis's voluntary knee in the 9th round what it truly was, a knockdown, Roach was denied a crucial 10-8 scoring swing that would have secured him the victory.
What you talking about? They like, man, ain't gonna give it to you. I was like, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing.
New York State Athletic Commission has told multiple outlets that it is still reviewing the matter. However, the most puzzling storyline, one that demands more attention, is this. What was going on with Davis? While it was certainly shocking to see the 30-year-old Baltimore native struggle against such a massive underdog after years of dominance, that wasn't even the most surprising part. Roach, after bulking up to lightweight, appeared to be the bigger fighter in the ring. He leaned on his confidence and experience, shaped by growing up in the same boxing circle.
It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing works. I'm not, like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar.
The biggest questions surrounding Davis weren't just about his performance in the ring, but also about his mindset and the repeated instances of bizarre behavior before, during, and after the fight. This has led many to wonder, was this simply an off night for one of boxing's pound-for-pound best? Or has Davis lost the competitive fire and killer instinct that made him such a massive draw? Star boxers being late for media events is nothing new, especially for Davis, who was nearly 2 hours late for the 2023 kickoff press conference against Ryan Garcia. However, he took tardiness to another level this time, showing up unapologetically 4 to 5 hours late for his first press event with Roach in New York, then arriving 90 minutes late to Friday's weigh-in, while Davis was his usual playful and relaxed self throughout fight week. His behavior inside the ring raised concerns. Twice during the first half of the fight, he took his eyes off Roach.
You won't get too much on paper, but shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him, I was like, oh, they gonna get